Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are swallowing fufu with some palm butter. Let me just show you guys what the fufu look like. So this is the fufu. I kind of pour a little bit too much water, so that's why it looks flat like this, but normally it's supposed to be a little firm on more like, you know. So, and then this is the soup that I'm going to be eating it with. This is palm butter. It's made from palm nut seeds. And then I just have a couple of meats in here. I actually do have a video on my channel showing you guys how to make this soup. So yeah, go check that out. I'll put the link down in the description box below. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to eat fufu. Yeah, so first of all, let me just tell you how fufu is made. I actually do have a couple of videos on my channel showing you guys how to make the fufu. I show you guys like two different ways to make fufu, and like I'm gonna also bring up more ways and more options and stuff like that to make it easier for you guys. I have a stove method on how to make the fufu on the stove, and then I do have a method where you make the fufu in the microwave, which that is like the stove method is like a harder and more like muscle type of way of making fufu. It has to do with a lot of stirring and, you know, a lot of energy. And then the microwave one, I will recommend that if you never made fufu before and it's like your first time making fufu and you just want to get like a faster result. But if you want to feel like the actual African way of making fufu, or like how they make it back home and stuff like that, that's not really the way, because back home they make it in like the mortar pencil. But yeah, that's like a modern way of making fufu, basically, because now we have like the fufu powder, the fufu dust and stuff like that, so you don't really have to boil cassava and boil plantain and stuff like that to beat it in the mortar anymore. So now things are made easier. So yeah, if you want, you can go check out that video, those two videos. I have a couple of them, and I also have another video on my channel that shows you, if you, just in case you made too much fufu, how to put the when you put the fufu in the microwave, how to restore it, because you cannot just take fufu out of the refrigerator and just throw that joint in the microwave. It won't work. It won't work because the top part will be too hard and stuff. It just won't come out right. So yeah, I also have a video on my channel showing you guys how to restore your fufu if you put it in the microwave. So the way you make this fufu is, I'll just tell you guys the microwave method, because that's a little bit faster. So you will put your fufu, your desired amount of fufu, into a bowl. Put out water, stir it up until it gets to like a watery consistency, like a running watery consistency, not too watery and not too thick. It will be like it will be a little thick depending on the texture or the kind of fufu you want. If you want a harder fufu, you add less water. If you want a softer fufu, you add more water. And then after that, once you stir it and there's no more knots or lumps in the fufu anymore in the mixture, you'll put it in the microwave. Depending on the amount of fufu you have, you'll put the temperature on it. And I also say that in the video. So if you have a little bit of fufu, I recommend, if it's like a fufu like this, I recommend you start off with like 3 to 4 minutes. If it's more fufu, then you start off with putting 5 to 6 minutes. If it's a lot of fufu, like a fufu that fills up like a bowl like this, you will have to put 10 to 20 minutes. So it just depends on the size of fufu you have and the amount. So yeah, after the microwave is finished, you will take the fufu. I'm sorry, I talk with my hand a lot. I don't know, I cannot help it. It's not like something I feel weird when I'm like this, but I'll try. So when you take your fufu out of the microwave, you'll use like a wooden spoon, or if you have a fufu stick, you'll use your fufu stick and you will beat it. We call it beating it, but you'll mix it until it becomes very smooth and everything, until they become very smooth and they're mixed properly and everything looks the same. It looks like a little dough. Basically, that's the best way to describe it. It look like dough, but like it depends on the kind of fufu you have. They have pink fufu, they have cassava fufu, they have plantain fufu. This is the plantain fufu. So if all of them look the same color, there's no more white spots or different color. They're all like, yeah. Then you are finished. If they all look the same, then you are finished. Then you will take the amount of fufu that you will want, and then you will put it into a plate, and then you will mold it. And then it's ready for you to eat with your soup. So today I'm going to show you guys how to eat the fufu. So first of all, there's a lot of there's not really like a specific way to eat fufu actually. But today I'm just going to show you guys how to swallow it, because I know a lot of people have that kind of problem with learning how to swallow it. But what I would say is, it's okay to chew fufu. It is okay to chew fufu, I'm telling you. So, but it tastes so much better when you swallow it. I think I need to actually ask a question about this. I think they started swallowing and not chewing the fufu back then or in Africa because it lasts longer in your system, your body don't break it down easily. And in Africa, they're under the sun 24/7. They have to go to the farm. They have to do this. So when you eat fufu, or in Africa, they look at my hands coming out. They usually make GB, which is called geba. I don't really know what geba is, what geba means, but it's called geba, which is like a really thick kind of fufu that is made out of cassava. You can also make GB with the flours that we have here now, but it will just be like, it won't be like the one from Africa, So they call it geba, and then they will make like the fufu form and stuff like that, and then they will swallow it, and then they usually eat a big portion of it, but it will also last in their stomach. They will probably eat it like in the morning, and that will go with them for like the whole day, up to like 6-7 o'clock when everybody's coming home, and then mom is done cooking the evening food and stuff like that. So I believe that is the reason why they started swallowing it, so because the stomach don't break it down easily, so it stays with them, and then they are full the whole day. So yeah, so in America now, we don't really have to do all that, because after you finish eating it, right now after I finish eating, I'm probably gonna go sleep, and then all that is just, you're not using that energy, so you don't really have to swallow it if you don't want to, but it tastes better when you swallow it. And we grew up swallowing it, and most people like to swallow it. So yeah, so what I would recommend is, first of all, when you're done making the fufu, and if you have like a softer form of food, it doesn't even matter if it's soft. If you have like your fufu sitting there, like how I've been having it sit here, it has gotten sticky. It has gotten to the point of really sticky dough. So if your hands is dry, the fufu will get stuck to your fingers. So if I pull it off right now, like you can see it's getting stuck to my finger and stuff like that. So then the fufu will be on your finger. You don't want that. So you have to wash your hands. Not only, you have to wash your hands, obviously, because you don't know what you've been doing and stuff like that. So you want to make sure your hand is clean, because it's going in your mouth. This is just regular old water, no soap, nothing. And you will leave your hands wet. You will not need to dry your hands at all. So you're just gonna leave your hands wet like this, and then you will cut your fufu. So if I cut it now it's not sticking to my finger. So now everything is, because the water is helping. So if this is your first time swallowing the fufu, let me just tell you guys first. Let me just say this because it just popped up in my head. There is different types of fufu. Did I already say that? Yeah, I think I already said that, but there's different types of fufu. There is fufu. There's different types. Like different, very much a lot of different type. Every country in Africa eat their own kind of fufu, and I'm telling you, it's different types. But they call it different things. So this would be fufu, and then they have pounded yam, they have eba, they have all these other things that they're all in like the same category, but they're all called different things. You know, so a pounded yam will be, you'll still do the same type of routine with making it and stuff like that, but it's just what is made out of. Pounded yam is obviously made out of yams, and then fufu is made out of, you can make it out of cassava, you can make it out of yam, but you'll have to add something else to it to get it to this sticky, and look at now my hands dry, it's getting stuck to my finger, to get it to this sticky form. But if you have it just pounded yam, if you just have yam, it's technically pounded yam. Yeah, but yeah, you can make it out of yam, you can make it out of cassava, plantain, you can make it, well, I'm actually seeing now that you can even make it out of cabbage and stuff like that. People are being very creative with it. So yeah, there's different types, different brands, different things. Yeah, so you will find your any pack of fufu from an African store, but if you don't have an African store near you, you can also make it with cassava, regular plantain. Just blend it, put it in a pot, and do the same thing. But yeah, so if this is your first time ever eating fufu, and you want to learn how, if you want to swallow it, I will tell you to start off with a very small piece. Me, I'm used to it, so I've already gotten used to the size that is good for my throat, and that will be this size. This is the size that I can swallow and stuff like that. But if this is your first time, just if your hands ever get dry, until you put your hands in the soup, your hands is gonna get dry. So yeah, you can also let's talk about the soup. I'm over here all over the place. You can also have your fufu with anything you want. There is no, Liberian people have like limited fufu with just slippery soup or running soup, but you can literally eat fufu with anything you want. There is, as long as it tastes good to you, that's all that matters. So Liberians, we only eat fufu with like pepper soup, palm butter, palava sauce, slippery soup, and stuff, okra, jibi soup, peanut butter soup, anything that's running or that is slippery that you can actually pour, we're eating it with it. But if it's like greens and stuff, like potato greens, cassava leaves, spinach, stuff like that, we don't do it. I don't know why, but we just don't do it because it's not running. But yeah, let's get into like the actual eating of the fufu. So like I said, you will need to if it's your first time, you'll need to take the amount that you think can fit in your throat. And until you figure out what size that is, start with the smallest piece. So we're gonna go to the smallest piece. I'm pretty sure this is too big for some people, but take the smallest piece, and then you will just want to like mold it a little bit on your finger just to turn it into like a ball. So you're just taking one piece and then you're sliding it, pressing it down like this using your fingers, and then you turn it into like a little dough like this. Let me see, that's too close. So you're turning into a little dough like this, and then you will take this one, you'll dip it into the soup. Some people will just go like this. That's the people that are used to it. Just put this small amount of soup on it, and then they will swallow it. I don't do that. I like to drench my fufu in the soup. So I like to go like this. So you see, it's filled up and there is no space and stuff like that. So it looks like that. So right now you'll just take it, put it in your mouth, and then swallow it. Just let it go straight from your tongue down to your throat. Do not even think about it. Don't even like stop, gag a little bit. It will like be like hard from the beginning, but then as you go, it gets easier. So you go like this. This is a smaller piece. Drench your fufu in it, in the soup. And you swallow it. Depending on the size of fufu you take, sometimes if you're not used to it, you can take more soup than the fufu. Then that way you won't really have the, you won't really feel it. And then in between swallowing the fufu, you could eat your meat. Chew your meat. You don't have to swallow the meat. Chew your meat, you know. Get comfortable with it. It's not like an assignment. Nobody's forcing you to swallow the fufu. You brought the fufu in front of you and you're the one that's deciding to do this. So get comfortable with it. Be open-minded with it. Don't just swallow it and then think nasty things. Because when you do get used to it, it tastes really good. Also, you don't really have to eat your fufu like this, with the fufu sitting on the side and then the soup in another bowl. This is just like a, I don't know, I don't want to say this is like a cleaner way of eating it, but this is just like a decent look. You cut your fufu is clean over here, you cut it, you put it in the soup, you eat it like that. But if you want, you could take like a bigger bowl, whatever kind of bowl you want, and then you put your fufu in the middle. What I would say is make sure the soup, I mean, some people don't like a lot of soup, but when I'm putting my soup, my fufu in like a bowl, and usually I want to do that with like pepper soup and stuff like that. I won't really do it with soup like this because this soup is already thick enough. I like dipping it from here to there. So what I would say is, if you're putting your fufu in a bowl and you're putting the soup on top of it, just make sure the soup is more than the fufu. Like the soup is running over. It covers the fufu even. I'm not saying fill up the whole bowl. I'm saying let the fufu fill up the fufu. Let the soup be more than the fufu. Mostly if it's pepper soup, people would eat it with spoon. You don't really have to eat it with your hand. If you're not comfortable with eating with your hand, you can use spoon. Don't let nobody tell you you cannot use spoon to eat fufu. You can. So you can use a spoon, and when I do use a spoon, when I cut the fufu, I like to have a lot of the soup with the fufu. So when you swallow it, you're basically swallowing the soup. And if you have a smaller piece, when you're swallowing the soup, you don't really feel the fufu going down your throat. Everything just mixed together. It feels so good. So yeah, that's it. You don't have to really use your fingers. I just like using my fingers because, you know, I'm from the bush. I'm a bush meat. So there it is. And when you're eating this, just get ready to dirty your fingers, because your fingers are gonna be dirty. So yeah. And try to use just one hand. As you can see, my other hand is free. I can grab my water. I can grab my phone. You can do other things. You can talk to people, you know. You're just only supposed to use one hand. So if you're right-handed, you use your right hand. If you're left-handed, you use your left hand. But if you don't want to swallow, you can chew. It's not a problem at all. If I take like 2 fufu, I like to take a meat with it. That is why my bowl is mostly meat. Because I like to eat my meat along with my fufu. But some people like to save the meat till after they eat. It's up to you. There's no, like I said, there's no specific way to eat fufu or to eat anything. Just eat it to your comfort level. And then you folding it like this, it's just easier for it to like slide down your throat. It's not like a must. You don't have to. I don't usually do it. I always forget to do it. But the funny thing is, every time I'm eating fufu, it reminds me of my grandfather. When he's eating it, when my grandfather is eating fufu, like the cassava fufu, even my dad, this is the part that I like, licking my finger, being messy and stuff like that. I love messy food. But not only my grandfather or my dad, when you see men eating fufu, oh my god, you'll just be sitting there like, cause they be taking the biggest pieces. Like, they be taking the biggest pieces. Like, even this is probably small. This, like, you will see, oh my god, I'm thinking of my grandfather right now. He will sit there, you'll see him like fast, like they're not even thinking about it. Just like big old piece, like I will choke. I will choke if I put this down my throat. This is like probably like 3 knots for me. This is 3 knots. Let me see. 1.5, 2.5 knots. This is 3 knots for me. I'm pretty sure I'm even like that's even small. Like they will big old pieces. They will swallow it, not even think about it. And I be sitting there watching them like, how do you not choke? I swear, food is amazing. And the different type of food that's out there is just so cool. Things that you're not even thinking about, like, they're out there. Like, who really sat here and decided to put cassava in a mortar, beat it, turn it into this mold thing, and eat it with soup? Who really thought about that? And also, if you're eating fufu, make sure you have water handy, because like if you are swallowing it, just swallowing it, it's very easy for you to like choke on it, especially if you make a mistake and take like a size that you're not used to, thinking you're challenging yourself and stuff like that. And also, when you're cooking your soup, you don't have to put fish, but if you are putting the fish, make sure to take out the bones. Or when you're eating, make sure you can catch the bones, because it's very, very easy to swallow bone in fufu. In swallowing fufu. Bone. Very easy. Especially little pieces like this. Yeah. Ooh. See, this size is a little bigger. But I don't want to cut it anymore, so I'm just going to put it in my mouth. Break it in half with my teeth. And then swallow it. You see? The oil took the wrong turn and went somewhere else. So yeah, this is the time when I close my mouth and I eat. I used to chew fufu a lot, but since I started, one day I just decided to swallow it. When I was little, I never used to swallow. Oh no. I'll only chew it. But since I started swallowing, I never went back. Like I said, the only time I'll chew the fufu is if the size that I chose is bigger than my throat. And if you're not used to swallowing, I recommend you make the soft kind of fufu. So it's like easier to go down and stuff like that. Ooh-wee. Or, like I just did, you could take a big piece, like this. This is basically how my man eats his pounded yams. Cut it into like little pieces like this. You see, so the other big pieces in my hand, and I just cut like the size that I'm gonna swallow. I just put it on the tip of my fingers. Put the soup on it. Break it off with my 2 fingers, just like this. And now take another piece, like so. Break it off with my 2 fingers once it's in my mouth. Yep. This is like a great method when you're eating with other people. So you're not constantly going back, you know? So yeah. Take a big piece. I'm just gonna eat some meat first. It's just like a habit. Put it in your palm. You have to be open to getting your hands dirty. Ooh, I'm getting full. So there it is. I'm full. So this is what's left. And this was left of the soup. So once you're done, just wash your hands. Because I ate mine with something that had red oil in it, I have to wash my hands with soap. So yeah. So yeah, so this is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.